Okay, so thanks for coming on. So this is my second episode, my Fantom podcast. So thank you all for coming on. So I'm going to introduce everyone one at a time. So we'll go with my first guest. He's competed twice, and he's won 3 competitions recently. He's the first ever winner of the Ultimate Fitness Classic men's beach class. Is that right? First timers, and he also won the UKBFF first timers and men's open class. So give a round of applause to Kai Zhou. Is that right?
Round of applause.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Kai.
My name sounds right. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. And it's going to probably take about just over an hour. It just depends how much you got to talk and etc. So next guest, we got. Have you changed your name, Femi?
No, my name is still the same.
Okay, so next guest is our Ultimate Fitness men's bodybuilding beginners champion, and obviously Ultimate Fitness member Femi Tomiwa. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So thanks for coming on, joining us today. And last but not least, we got four-time British champion. Four-time British champion.
Four-time British champion.
Right, Dean Lesiak, owner of Join Your Legion, 4-time British champion, legend in UK bodybuilding and the rest of the world. Welcome, Dean. So we've been saying we've been doing a podcast for a long time, and finally we've got the setup, the mic, the camera, the studio. So hopefully we can do more of these when you've got time, and if you obviously got any ideas or topics to talk about, you're more than welcome to give me some ideas and we'll all jump on. Today's topic, obviously with the show that was last week, I want to get Kai and Femi to talk about their experiences competing as a first timer, if it was what it was they thought it would be, how hard it was mentally, physically, and if they got to the condition they wanted to, what they were. I've got a lot of questions wrote down, so just want to sort of give an idea of the topic we want to talk about so we don't get lost. Obviously, Dean will have his input because he's competed so many times like myself, so he knows what competing is like. So is everyone all on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first question. Are you glad prep is over?
Yeah, I like this is the happiest weeks like in this year.
This week.
But I feel like I feel very guilty after too much food.
So what's made you feel good? Is it just because you can eat and you feel normal again? I mean, explain to why you feel happy, and and you didn't feel happy when you were in prep.
Yeah, no, actually, I feel happy because like I think like eventually it's over, and now I can have like a ordinary food,
normal life.
However, like normal life. I can be socialize with friends, kind of things, and but after like now it's 10 days after. I feel like I miss prep. I miss prep now already.
You miss the abs, you mean?
Yeah, I miss abs. I miss everything. Yeah. But
Femi still got his abs.
I prepare for another show, Femi.
No.
We'll let Femi. So do you miss prep now it's finished? I mean, are you glad it's over?
For me, it's kind of the same like Kai, but I actually do miss it because prep really taught me a lot of things, and it helped me in a lot of ways as well. I do miss the routine. I miss having to follow a particular structure the whole day, and the whole 12 weeks that I was on prep, it really changed me physically and mentally. So yes, I miss it, but I still have more work to do. So I'm not going to rush back into it until next year, hopefully.
What do you mean you miss it? Because I did a photo shoot with you like a day ago, and you look in better condition than when you was on stage. So you're lying, you're still prepping. What's going on?
Yeah, you're not telling us something that we don't know, are you, Femi?
Well, Dean, I think the reason why is because after prep, I love the way prep changed my lifestyle of eating. And even though before I started prep, I was looking a little bit okay, but the meals that I had during prep, obviously Sai was my coach, the mincemeat and plain rice, plain pasta. I actually like it. I prefer it to all those nonsense that I've been eating all this while. So I stuck to the meals even after prep. I just upped the carbs and protein a little bit, but I'm still eating what Sai wrote for me during my prep series. So maybe that's why I'm still in condition.
Very sensible. Kai, how different is your diet now compared to the prep? How much weight have you put on?
It's too extreme. It's too extreme.
How much
yeah.
have you put on, Kai? How much weight have you put on? Truthfully, because Derek's told me a number.
Last 10 days, probably 7-8 kg.
Derek told me 10 kg.
Wow.
Let's get the scales out. I want to see the scales now.
Oh no! I'm gonna start prep again after this week. I swear.
Femi, have you put much weight on?
I got on stage at 94 kg. Now I checked yesterday. I'm 99 kg now.
Okay.
So you put on 5 kilo, but you still look pretty lean to me. You don't put like you put on any fat.
Well, I'm just
Probably gone onto your arms,
That's
isn't
me.
it?
Like I put a lot of fat on my chest.
So when you both came off stage, we'll ask Kai first and then Femi you afterwards.
No problem.
How did you feel coming off stage at all the diets done? Was you craving food? Was you craving a drink? How did you feel, and what was the first thing you ate? So Kai,
Femi, you want to talk first?
No,
Oh,
yeah.
Go first.
you go.
We talking Kai first or Femi first?
Go Kai first.
So the first thing was into my mind was the food and a cheesecake. Actually, it was because I haven't had anything like during the prep. I didn't have anything sweet, and I didn't have anything like with sugar. So
You were craving it.
yeah, ingredient. Yeah. Absolutely, like desperate for those stuff, and I was thinking like I was very desperate to have this after show, and I remember on the first night after UFB class, I had like a whole cheesecake at night, and I feel like so happy. Yeah.
Did you feel sick after?
Dehydrated?
Yeah, I feel sick after because I feel too full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just watching you on stage here. So you've done 2 shows on it. You've never competed before. This is the first 2 shows you've done. So you're a complete beginner to this. How was you on stage? Because your stage presence looks brilliant. It's phenomenal for a first-time show. How did you feel? Did you enjoy the stage?
I enjoyed the stage. I enjoyed the light. I was a bit nervous before the stage, before getting the stage.
Was you nervous for the UF Classic or for the first show you did?
Both before the stage, and but when I'm on the stage, when I was on stage, and I feel like less nervous. However, I was enjoyed. I feel like I enjoyed everything on stage, posing, everything. But I still need practicing. I think on posing.
Yeah, but for the first time, you look like you got the confidence, and obviously you hit the poses correctly, and you sort of making eye contact to the judges and the crowd, which was very good. But it didn't look like it was your first time. You look like you've been on stage before. You've got that sort of experience. That to me, anyway. Yeah. So it looked like you've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of Ryan Terry videos.
It was quite
yes.
professional, your stage presence. It was very good.
I will watch. Yeah, go on, Dean. Sorry.
I answer that because I was going to go to Femi next. So carry on.
Yeah, how did you learn your posing, Kai?
Yeah, I practice posing every morning after the cardio, and also I watch a lot of FBB pro posing on YouTube channel, like Ren Terry, and also some Chinese FBB. They're like their states posing kind of. So I combine what's the move I like, combine them together, and to create for my own. So I still need more practicing for next shows, but I was confident. I feel happy. I feel enjoyed.
Yeah, it's all there. I think it just needs a bit of polishing up. But for the first time, you can't really argue with the way you looked, stage presence wise.
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yes. So Femi, how did you feel when you first come off stage? What did you want? Did you want to eat a treat? Was you excited about your placing? Was you disappointed? What was the first things that went into your head?
Funny enough, Dean, when I first after the show, it wasn't even food for me. For me, my whole body was shattered with the whole posing,
Exhaustion.
and my body was weak. I just wanted to go home and get some sleep. My back was pumped. My legs were strenuous with the whole squeezing of the legs on stage because people were trying to remind me that I shouldn't forget to squeeze my legs. So the whole trying to squeeze my legs, my muscles were extremely tired. So it was.
I always found the day after a competition, it was like, especially my legs back, they were so sore from all the squeezing and tensing from being on stage. It was like doing a proper workout, and I'd always be sore.
Outside of your lats really hurt on me.
Exactly. It happened to me exactly like that, Sai. It happened to me from the night of the show leading to the next day after the show. My back and my legs were extremely sore. So for me, it wasn't even about the meals. I just wanted to go home and grab some rest. That's why I didn't stay for the overalls. After the pro show, I just left. I didn't watch the overall. So for me, that was it. I just wanted to get some rest.
So what food did you eat? Or when you finally ate, what did you have? Straight back to prep food?
No, that night, I think my wife, she had this special hot dogs that she had planned that she wanted to prepare for me. So when we got back home, that was what she made. Just some very long hot dogs, really long one, like just a long one. And I just had that with just a Diet Coke, really. And that was it. I was really scared to go back to the whole too much sugar and excess overeating because it affected me previously because of the prep. So I didn't want to make that same mistake going back into those type of foods. I just had a hot dog that
You also feel better eating cleaner food, don't you? You don't feel as sort of groggy and bloated and tired.
Yes, please. So I just had a hot dog, a nice long hot dog that night, really long hot dog that night.
It sounded like a good night out.
Yes, Dean. Yes. Dean.
So okay, I'm gonna go ask you, Kai, first. What do you think was the most difficult part about the prep, about the whole 24 weeks? And what sort of things were the most? Was it the training, the cardio, the lack of food?
Everything was hard. Everything was so simple. It's because it is simple. Everything is so
process
simple.
Is simple, yes.
Yeah, process is simple. You have to maintain what you do every day, and just cardio on Stairmaster, and prepare the food, and make sure the food clean, and what do you eat? Like every day same, like veg chicken. Sometimes it'll be rice. And but also it's hard because you have to maintain to do this every day for 24 weeks. And at the end of closest show day, so it's getting harder. It's getting harder because there are no enough sugar, no enough carbs in your body, and also we cut fat. Cut fat like around. After 12 weeks, so the food was very dry. It's hard to chew.
So the last few weeks, how did you feel? How did you feel the last few weeks?
I feel why I'm doing this. I want to do this. Yeah. That's what I feel like.
Did you start
My mom
questioning
says,
why you doing this?
yeah. I'm doubting myself, like, and even I think I'm shrinking lots of weight. I won't be ready for the stage. I was texting Sai. Did you remember I was texting you? Am I ready for the show? Yeah, I was ready for the show, and didn't realize like how did I look on the stage. I thought probably I would be the smallest one on stage. Yeah, and also I lack confidence doing the prep as well.
Femi, how did you what did you find the most difficult part about the prep?
For me, a lot of people talk about the diets in terms of the food. I didn't have problem with the food because before the prep, I've been used to eating a certain way for a very long time in my life. So for me, that was trying something new, and I was really looking forward and interested in it. So the diet, as hard as it was really okay. My most challenging thing was having to do the 45 minutes on the Stairmasters. Oh my God, that killed me, Dean. That killed me every day.
Was you doing this fasted or
Great.
Fasted, because I told me to do 1 hour cardio. So I do 45 minutes on the Stairmaster, and then I complete the remaining 20 or 15 minutes on the bike. So having to wake up in the morning fasted and looking at that Stairmasters is really, really hard. It was really hard for me.
What used to get me through cardio in the morning, because you're so tired, obviously you're so drained, and as the competition, the prep goes on, your carbs get lower and lower, and I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I don't want to move, and I'm so hungry, my belly hurts. Just knowing the fact that I can't eat until I've completed the cardio is the only thing that makes me do the cardio. And as soon as I've done it, I've got this bowl of oats and water, and you're licking the bottom and every single oat out of it. So it's just torture, isn't it? But you get that mindset, and you just got to do it every day.
I agree, Dean. That was basically what happened to me. Having to go through the pain of the Stairmasters was really, really challenging. And especially the last 3 weeks, Dean. The last 3 weeks was the most difficult. It wasn't easy dragging myself to the gym in the morning. And I was very emotional as well. The last 2 weeks, I was extremely
everyone gets emotional the last few weeks.
Yeah, same, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you both a question. Was there any point through the prep where you thought, I felt like giving up, thought I ain't going to do this, I ain't about to finish it? You felt like just throwing the towel in? Was there any point the last few weeks did you think, fuck it, I'm going to give up? Kai?
Like the first...
The first week.
Every Saturday.
That would be sad. I think the moment when I wake up, my body's aching and I feel hungry, but I have to keep doing the cardio. That moment, I won't give up.
Well, a week before the competition, you say?
Cardio.
I mean, it's 3 weeks before the competition.
3 weeks before, yeah. I mean, the 3 week mark is probably, the 3-4 week mark, depending on how lean you are, it is tough, and it just time seems to drag them for the final weeks.
You was prepping both these guys, wasn't you, size? So I know you. I pretty much know most of your protocols, what you do with your clients, and you'll only change things when they need to. But was they both kind of at the 3 week mark, and you had to pull their carbs down?
I think with Femi, he was things were pretty easy for him. He didn't really feel anything until, was it probably the 4th week, and then I sort of noticed him in the gym. He was very quiet, and I think he just wants to be left alone. And you know, when you've been there yourself, you think, okay, I'll just give him space, and if he wants to talk to me, he'll talk to me. I know he's not being ignorant, but it's just, I've done the same, where you think, okay, just fucking, I don't want to talk to him. I don't even make eye contact. I just want to train. And I saw that look in Femi, which I noticed myself. I thought, okay, so it's obviously the diet, because Femi's very friendly and he always makes time to talk to me. But I thought, he's 3-4 weeks out. I've dropped his carbs right down. I've upped his cardio, so let's just give him a bit of time. alone. And Kai was different because nothing was happening with his physique. I mean, we sort of lowered all the food and up the thing, and then obviously I went to Rome for a few days, and when I came back and I seen him, I thought his physique just changed. I thought this is how he needs to look like 4 or 5 weeks out, and I was really happy because for like a month prior to that, his physique wasn't changing, his weight was still the same, and then all of a sudden things started happening. So I was really happy, worried at the same time because thinking he ain't going to be in shape. I thought he ain't going to get in shape, but he surprised me, Kai. Yeah, he shocked me because we had to do some drastic things with his diet, which sort of worked. But
did you put him down really low? Was he suffering?
Yeah, I mean, I think the days he didn't train, we had 0 carbs, didn't we, Kai? Didn't we? And the days that we did train, I think we went down to like, I think 50 grams some days, 40, 50 grams.
The highest, yes.
And 2 hours cardio a day training. I know it's hard, but you know what? It's sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it's not ideal. But
do you feel Femi's genetics allowed him not to have to go so low, and was he holding muscle easier? And
yeah, I mean, he stayed full. I mean, he was texting me saying he was worried his arms were getting smaller. So when he came into my office, I thought, where are they getting shorter or?
oh shit, down to 20 inches.
But obviously, we've all been there ourselves. When you look in the mirror and like your mind starts playing tricks, and 1 minute you think you look great, then you catch yourself looking a bit flat. Then you think you're not good enough. And obviously, because I've competed so many times, I know exactly how it feels. So you just got to remind yourself, trust the process, and it's things that you have to go through mentally to sort of get to show day. So you just got to stay on track and do what's needed.
Well, I remember like all these guys coming into the competition, and Femi I've seen so much potential in him. Beautiful muscle bellies. He's holding a ton of muscle, and then obviously off season he was just soft, and I could see, well, he's got everything. If he can manage the mentality,
Can you do it? Yeah.
It'd be phenomenal. Kai, could see he had an awesome, lovely shape, but again, he was still way off. I went to Mauritius with my missus for 3 weeks, and then when I came back, it was almost another week after. So it was about a month, and in that month, oh my God, the changes.
Yeah.
Femi looked. I was shocked in a good way, to be honest, because the condition that you'd gotten into in the time that I hadn't seen you, it was crazy. And when I seen Kai, he was in a vest or something, and I wasn't impressed. I looked at you, you just looked smaller and soft. And then you lifted the weight and all these striations popped through. And I was like, wow, it was just a bit of water. The fat had come right down. And can you remember I was walking past and you was doing some rows and I had to stop and just take a video because all these striations in your shoulders looked crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, yeah.
When you hit the poses, all the hardness came through. It was all there. So it was just really nice to see. I was like, shit, I need to go on the treadmill. You guys are making me feel fat.
That's the beauty about competing as a first timer. You don't know what your body's capable of and how it's going to look until you really get down to the last few weeks when you have to really suffer and get that condition. And, and that's the beauty about it. So, next time if you are going to compete, or Kai, you set yourself a standard, a benchmark, and you've got to improve on that. You've got to come in harder. Same with you, Femi. You've made the impact now, so you just got to work on the areas that needed to bring up, like the hamstrings, the glutes, certain areas which overall it takes time. I mean, not everyone that competes first time gets that bang on condition first time, and it does take a few times to sort of to get that. Wouldn't you agree, Dean?
Oh, 100%. I mean, how many years did we compete? And I never got it right. I was learning my body every single year and get a bit better. To get that dense, hard, grainy, mature muscle takes years and learning your body. And even if you get the diet perfectly right, you guys are still young and new to the sport. It takes years of that maturity to really harden that, get that granity, nice hard look. Femi, you've got such lovely muscle bellies. They hang off. You have everything. You have the structure. You have no faults. You just have weaknesses. Faults are your like if you've got
Structure.
narrow shoulders, wide waist. That's a fault. That's your structure. You can't do nothing about that. You don't have that. You have the massive wide shoulders, the tiny waist. Everything flows nice. You have weaknesses, which is you need a bit more, I'd say, sweep on your lats, a bit more thickness in your back, a bit more thickness through the hamstrings. The legs got to come out a little more. That's easy. That's just going to take time. When that comes up, you're going to be incredibly hard to beat. Where guys with a structure, with a bad structure, will pack the muscle on and look phenomenal, but then they're stuck at that point so they can't get any better. That's when you're going to overtake everybody. And as for you, Kai, you just got to do more and get harder and harder each time, because the shape what you brought for men's physique, if you're going to continue to do that category, I think it's top class, and you just bring in the condition more and more each time. Your stage presence, everything about it is that look what they want. So I think you could do phenomenal at that class, but it depends whether you want to go up into the bodybuilding ranks, because I know you smash legs incredibly hard every week.
You can see his legs here. Like
He does. He had good legs on stage.
You know what I mean? They're bulging out them shorts, and most of them you've got little twigs hanging out the bottom. So
that's another thing I changed with Kai. We stopped training legs because obviously everyone knows that he trains legs with Chris, and that's like a 3-4 hour leg session every Saturday. And obviously it's unnecessary to train for 4 hours, and especially when you're natural like Kai, and it's going to hinder his recovery from his upper body. I thought he's not going to be judged on his legs anyway. His legs are fairly big, so he doesn't need to train legs. So he can emphasize all the recovery and the growth on his upper body. So I think not training legs for the last 6 weeks did pay off, because it did enable his upper body to recover a lot faster, rather than, when you train legs for 4 hours, that's hard as Kai does, and with what Chris puts him through, he tortures him. It takes 4 or 5 days for him to recover. So I think that was a wise move on our behalf to sort of
everything else will respond more when it take them away, because it takes so much energy out of your body recovery time. And you got great legs, so you can take a little bit of time off.
Great legs.
Yeah, they're great shapes. You got good size on them. So,
because when we were at the UKBFF, Sugar, the president, he says, "Oh, he needs a pair of trunks. I don't want to. He shouldn't hide them legs."
Yeah, sure. I agree. So what are you thinking, Kai? You want to stay in this category, or do you want to push up and maybe go classics or in bodybuilding?
This year, maybe maintain physique for now, for this year, and maybe next year I will try to do classic physique, maybe. But I don't know. I always think my leg doesn't look that good because it doesn't have, well,
your legs are in proportion.
Yeah.
I think
not showing any details. That's what I think.
I think half of the problem is you're training legs with Chris, because no matter how big and how good, you could squat 10 plates aside and he'd still be like, "This fucking shit, you cunt. This fucking shit." He doesn't do no favors for your confidence, but he makes you push hard. I give you that. Believe me, you got good legs on you. Good legs.
Good legs, Kai.
So Kai, I'm going to ask you both this, but Kai first. Was you happy with your look on both days that you competed? Was you happy? Did you think 24 weeks ago when you started the prep you would look as good as you did? Was you happy the way you looked, or do you think you could do better? How did you think? What did you think, Kai?
Yeah, before I mean, 24 weeks ago, like I wasn't think about that I will be able to on stage. Like I never thought about this. I thought I would give up halfway, but actually I didn't.
Because you have done a diet before. I mean, you've done a little mini diet before, haven't you? Previously, I've seen pictures, but you look nowhere near as good as this. It looks a lot smaller.
Yeah, never. Isn't. Yes, because I was a prep in 2019. I was prepped by myself, and I just cut the carb in 5%, and my training too much, and I didn't do cardio at all. So
So what was the difference having me helping you compared to like you helping yourself?
I feel it's more scientific, and also it's I know what's I just follow what you do. I just follow what you say. Sorry, and also
You don't have to think about anything.
I do not think about the carbs, and I don't think about like what have trained today, and here are the results. I would think about the because first time if I prep by myself, I wouldn't know like what my limit is, and you push my limits, and I never think to do like 2 hours, like 2 sessions of cardio a day. That was
everyone's different. Some people may not need that, but obviously you were behind, and that's what needed to be done. You, Femi, how was you happy the way you looked on stage? Did you think 12, 14 weeks ago when we started you would look as good as you did?
To be fair, I didn't really know
What to expect.
How I would look. I was just going with the opinion of people.
The process.
You had what it takes. You have the physique. You need to put in work. I was just going. Dean times very much. Dean, I appreciate. Dean told me that many times before I even started prep. So even you told me that many times before I started prep. So I didn't really know how I would look, but now getting to show day, I felt like to say, Sai, you did a really, really good job, because you did an awesome job, Sai. Everyone that came to watch me that day, everyone was actually.
I mean, look at this stage shot with you next to Tim. I mean,
everyone.
Them side shots.
Even the judges, they were wowed, especially when they realized this. Some of them after, especially when they realized that it was my very first time. Then they were really, really wow. They loved the shape, they loved the structure, and even though, as you said, my conditioning was could be better, I actually didn't get a lot of negative feedback.
No.
Conditioning.
I mean, you obviously comparing next to Tim, it was very hard that day, and Tim's been competed 10 times now, so he's got that experience on stage, and he knows we know how to get this body that look. So my working first time with you was, it's trial and error, isn't it?
Of course, Tim was amazing. When I was backstage, I realized what it meant to come in hard. When I saw him backstage, it made me have an.
But in all fairness, you had him on a few poses. I mean,
it was a close battle as well.
What do you reckon, Dean?
This is what I was saying earlier. You have no faults. You have weaknesses. Tim's the opposite to you. He has faults, but he has no weaknesses. Tim is stacked. He's packed with muscle. He's so thick, and that muscle has had a lot of time to mature. His condition is bang on. You know what I mean? There's not a bad body part on him. He looks incredible. But your frame, your structure is better than Tim's. So Tim's beating you on the day here because he's more stacked. He's more conditioned. He's got more muscle on his frame and all over, more of a complete physique. But you bring up your weaknesses, and there's no way Tim could stand next to you, which will take a few years. But when you get there, like I said, you're going to be incredibly hard to beat. They're coming in on your first show and standing next to somebody like Tim and holding your own and even winning some of those poses is incredibly difficult for anybody to do. So I know you're never happy, and it's a good thing because it keeps you pushing more, but you should be very proud of yourself for what you put, your first package to come onto stage. This is just a taster of what's yet to come if you want it.
Thank you. That's why I said, Sai, you did an awesome job. When I saw the videos and the pictures, I said, wow.
Is that me?
Wow, is that me? That's when I appreciated.
I have the same feeling. I agree with you saying.
We got some good, most muscular shots from the front, haven't we? I mean, I want to get some photos blown up for the gym of you pair.
Yeah,
put them up in the gym. We're gonna have to take Ran and Dean down because they're sort of take the pictures down.
Yeah, spray over those big, the massive pictures. We're has-beens now. We've had our time. Get them down.
The back shots, as we can see here from the rear last spread and the bicep, that I really got feedback from the judges that I had a very good back. When my back was up, it was going.
Preparation, the muscles are popping, and the condition in your back was great.
Exactly what I was told. Exactly what I was told. So just now, I'm just going to improve. But with my first show, I am extremely excited. I'm still posting a lot of pictures and videos.
Yeah. That's why I said to you when you're in shape, try and get as many photos and videos done as you can, because
I did.
Just use them.
I did. So thank you very much. I can't wait to work with you in the future.
So who were your sort of bodybuilders that you looked up to, physiques that you sort of admired coming from training, that you sort of admired and sort of thought, this is who I'd like to look like? Kai, who were your sort of idols?
My idol, I think it will be Ram Terry. Chris, if I change to powerlifting, yes. I think it will be Ram Terry and some Chinese FBB like Long Wu, and well, I watch their videos a lot, and
Ryan Terry's not that big, you know. He's got a great shape, but he's for a men's physique. There's a lot bigger than it, but he's got very good shape, and he always gets in good condition.
I was surprised, like I met him in last Arnold show and in Birmingham, and I was surprised. Like he wasn't massively big, but his physique was crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy. So that's why, like, he somehow has motivated me, pushed me, like, maybe I can try to do this. Maybe I can try to do this, and because like and it's not. I'm not lying. Like my shoulder waist is. I compare with him. Like
him.
Well, it's same. Not bigger. It would be same. Same range, and so I would think maybe,
How about you, Femi? Who were your bodybuilders that you looked up to? I know we talk about this a lot, but tell the audience who you sort of aspire to, who influence you.
For me, as you know, Si, I'm a huge fan of the guys of the 90s. I really loved the way they look, all of them actually, although I'm more of a Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, Kelvin LeBron, and Chris Cormier fan, those four guys. But I did like all of them in the 90s. But with the prep, I was really using Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, and Chris Cormier as sort of like a motivator for me during the prep. I loved the way the 90s guys, they looked. They all had round, full.
I could tell by some of your poses you sort of emulated like Flex and Chris Cormier.
Exactly.
I could see like a young Flex Wheeler in your physique.
Thank you.
I 100% agree.
That's a good compliment.
Thank you, sir.
In the morning of the show day, like I thought you were a young version of Flex Wheeler.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I remember I sent Flex a video of us that morning, and he says, "Oh my fucking god!"
Thank you, sir. So I really wanted to bring a package that, you know, when people see me, they had, you know, they had a 90s feel to it with my posing and the smiling. The smiling, I got it from Flex Wheeler as well. Young Flex, always smiling gracefully during his poses. So I added that touch to my posing. If you see my front poses, the most muscular, the side tricep, the side chest, giving the fans the graceful smile. So yes, I took a lot of the 90s guys and used their blueprint towards my prep. So that was what happened for me.
Okay, next question. Dean, have you got any questions for the boys?
Well, I was intrigued to know, because we've had our moments, and over many years of competing, and we know how hard it gets. And the guys were saying they got very emotional because all your hormones shut down and everything. So, was there any times that you had some crazy moments where you were just break down, cry your eyes out, getting angry, smashing anything up, arguing? You got any cool, funny stories to tell everybody to put them off competing?
You talking to me or Femi?
these two, because
these?
Kai, go first.
Yeah, because I'm not. I just graduated from uni, and I'm also doing a bit of work in London, around London. So I feel like the moment I was doing the prep, I feel hungry, and also my job didn't do really great, and I got flamed from my manager, and the moment I want to cry a lot.
You got told off by your manager for not working proper, not working hard enough.
You get told off
sleep.
yeah, sort of. But I didn't complain. I thought like this is what if I want to do the bodybuilding, I want to do the job together. That's my choice.
You got to balance. You got to balance. Yeah.
I have to do this. I have to balance. So luckily, I didn't cry. I didn't give up. And now I always believe the hard work gets paid. So now after the show, my manager was surprised. He was surprised, and he liked my moment in the WeChat on the WeChat, and all my colleagues were surprised. They saw my Instagram, everything. And
well, they're proud of you, Kai.
Yeah. They said that they would sponsor me for next show.
Okay.
You know, when your carbs are so low, obviously you get so tired, you get so drained, and because your food's so low, your blood sugars are low, you end up not being able to sleep much. Was you getting angry or snappy at all during your prep?
I think it just feels upset.
Just very emotional and depressed and down and wanting to cry.
Yeah.
So Kai, how did you feel like, say, 2 months before, and like you were on like 50 grams of carbs, and knowing you were going to have to train legs for 4 hours on a Saturday with Chris? What went through your mind Saturday morning when you used to wake up? Was it fear? Was it anxiousness?
Fear.
Huh?
Yeah, I think everything, some negative energies, everything, negative emotions around me. I feel fear, anxious, and I feel like not be ready, lack of confidence, and I even doubt myself. So
that's why I decided to pull legs, because obviously Chris doesn't have any sympathy, and I thought it's gonna probably break. It's gonna try and break you, which I didn't want happening. So I thought.
I just want people to understand and get the gist of this. So the last show you did, Kai, was Simon's show. That's not drug tested, is it, Simon?
No.
So you're against competitors that are taking steroids, and you're completely natural. So for people just wondering, Kai won it as a natural against people that are taking steroids. Yes. And it's all down to hard work, pure food, diet, and hard work. It can be done. Obviously, when you get to a certain size, you have to take some stuff if you want to keep pushing and getting bigger and bigger and going up the categories. But there you go. There's proof right there that he's pushed it and he beat most of the guys that were on using drugs.
And you know what? A lot of people, when I said Kai's natural, they're like, no way, he's not. I said, he's natural, 100% he's natural. And I could tell by the complexion of his skin how good his skin is. Obviously, when we put the tan on and the oil, he's got a very clear complexion. So obviously some physiques, when they do take gear, that you could see they've got that sort of the acne and sort of scarring. But Kai's got a very good complexion to his skin, which obviously proves he's natural. Yeah, Femi, did you get any emotional roller coaster feelings?
I did. I had quite a few, but one thing which I would explain, but one thing is I tried my best that I didn't let my emotional imbalances affect the people around me, because at the end of it, like a lot of people told me that yes, we can see it on your face, you are looking sad, you are looking slow, but I still try to make my time to put on a little bit of smile, because at the end of the day, I'm the one competing. You. So why do I have to, put my frustration of competing on somebody else? But with regards to the little challenges that I had, at the time, I live with my younger brother and my wife as well. So during the last few weeks, maybe like you eat with your food, you don't wash your plate. I was getting angry quickly over some
Little
things.
things.
Oh, you didn't throw the bin away. Why didn't you wash your plate? I was slamming the fridge. I was saying those things that normally before, like if my brother leaves his plate, I wash it for him. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Then as I was snapping, I was so
Give him a
like,
slap.
yeah. I was really, the last 4 weeks especially, I was really snapping, but I just cool my head. And as Sai said, which he noticed, there was a time at the gym, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody at all. And thank you, Sai, for noticing that. And Sai
Yeah, I'll give you a space. We've all been there.
Both of you guys, I'm really impressed more than anything of your whole attitude throughout the prep, because you're both so calm, level-headed, and keeping it, like, looking at it in a good way, as in nobody's making me do this but me. If that fat fuck wants to sit there and eat a burger in front of me, that's his choice. He's enjoying the burger. I haven't got to rip his head off because he's a fat fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Where it took me years and years to get to that stage.
Same here, yeah.
And you've been there as well, Simon.
Shall I tell the Temple Gym story?
Tell him the Temple Gym story. This is Simon's sale pitch. How to get customers in your gym.
Okay, so the original Temple Gym, as everyone knows, it was down a basement. So down a basement, there was no ventilation, no windows. It was just a door, a sweaty, broken door. And I was training legs one day. I was about 2 weeks out, and I was probably on 40 grams of carbs a day, obviously taking loads of gear and pre-workouts, whatever. So I was like really pissed off and angry. Then one of the lads that worked for me, his name was Gaz, and he signed up a new member, a guy called Greg. And he said, Greg, can you go and get some food? And so he sends him to this little cafe around the corner, and he brings this, it's like a cheesy lasagna pasta dish. It's piping hot.
One moment. Just tell everybody what's Greg's profession, so we know what kind of.
Greg back then he was studying to be a doctor, so he's a GP now. Yeah. So they come strolling down the stairs. Then I could instantly smell like the pasta. It was like someone brought a pizza into the gym. And I come down and said, who the fuck's brought pizza into the gym whilst I'm dieting? Yeah. Then Greg looked at me. Yeah. He told me to do it. I said, get that fucking food out of the gym before I throw you out. And yeah.
You took him out of the gym?
Threw them both out of the gym.
Get the fuck out of the gym. How dare you fucking eat food? I'm fucking dieting.
I could smell it from up the stairs coming down. I thought, someone's bringing pizza into the gym whilst I'm dieting. And I was like, you're not fucking dieting. I says, how dare you? And obviously looking back at it now, obviously I was being a dick and it would never happen again. But it's just when you're in that zone and you don't give a fuck, you think the world revolves around you, and you think, why should people tiptoe around me because it's I'm the one choosing to diet. So later on, I sort of had to learn to sort of deal with that, especially working, owning my own gym, not biting people's heads off. I had to sort of become more tolerable.
How many customers would you lose when you prep for a show?
I remember another time I was at the old Ultimate Fitness, and I was obviously my last prep, and I was like, I had my hoodie up. Obviously, I think it was 2 weeks out. I didn't want to talk to anyone, and somebody seen me, and he sort of lifted my hood up to say hello, and I thought, what have you done that for? So can you tell I want to fucking look at you or speak to you? And he didn't say hello to me after that again.
Well, Dean, for me, what happened to Sai, it could have happened to me, but what I did, Sai, was from 5 weeks out when the cardio started getting intense, I didn't come to Ultimate Fitness.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, and I think that was a wise move.
Yes, because I was going to the gym close to mine, when it was really getting intense, because that place, no one knew me.
No one knows you. Yeah.
Talk to anyone. I
Go
just
in
had
and do your thing.
I went in, did the cardio in the morning, went back in the evening again, did my training. And then when it was sort of like 2 weeks out after I had learned how to not control, but to put it in check, just a little, then I came back to Ultimate Fitness 2 weeks out. So
I thought we'd all upset you. I thought he's left our gym. He's fucked off.
No, it's because I was getting really pissed off easily, and I didn't want to put any to my friends. I have a lot of Ultimate Fitness.
Because obviously, when you're Ultimate, everyone wants to talk to you. Obviously, you're in prep. Everyone wants to look at you. Let's see how you're looking, and it's taking your time and your energy. So I understand that.
For like 3 weeks, from week 5 to week 2. So from 5 weeks out to 2 weeks out, I stayed away from Ultimate Fitness. That's how I avoid it as well.
You know what? All you guys are making me feel really bad, because I thought I was a good dieter, and I didn't moan about it. I just got on with it, and it killed me. And it's hard to get to that kind of condition. You got to kill yourself. And I thought I was a very good dieter, but I couldn't tolerate people that don't understand what you're going through. And they come, oh, what you eating, and poking your food. What's that you got? And you just leave. You just want to be left alone, isn't it? But a lot of my career, when I was competing, I was working security, dealing with drunk idiots, people on drugs who are off their face, and it brought out the worst in me. So I don't want to share my stories because I'm too embarrassed to even say some of the things that I did. You guys are too calm and nice. I needed friends like you lot around me when I was competing, just to help me, calm me down.
One was at work. I heard my colleague. I heard the sound of eating crisp. So I was so sensitive, and so please. And so I have to. Luckily, like the place I work is in a park. So in a park. So it's a garden area. Yeah, I can take a walk. Just cool myself down now. And Max and some of my friends, they send me like some food pictures. That moment I want to block them.
Good. You don't need that shit, do you? You're not in the frame of mind.
Yeah.
Bro. So
if you check the WeChat group, you can see a lot of the food pictures.
Oh yeah, that WeChat group went crazy. Yeah. Okay, so during this prep, what have you learned about yourself? Has it sort of give you newfound determination? What have you learned?
Kai, you want to go first?
Kai, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, for this show, after the show, like I saw the other competitor, and I was thinking, I want to beat them on next show. That's what I think. I want to try my best, and then for my next show as well. And after 10 days now, I already enjoy the life already. So I want to start prep after this week. And I want to, I'll still like 20 weeks, and for the show in October, and but I want to, the earlier the better. So I want to get everything ready, and for the show in October, and I actually learn I know myself better, and
you know how to handle it. You know what to expect next time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I can, and also I thank Ultimate Fitness and also Sai and Dean, and I couldn't do this without you.
Yeah, it is good to have a support network, especially people who have competed, so they know what to expect. And when you surround yourself with yes people all the time, they just tell you how great you look. It doesn't really help. But obviously, people like me and Dean, we've been there, wore the t-shirt, so we know what you're capable of and when to sort of pull things back, etc., and when you need to work hard. But
I can be very harsh when people ask me opinion. I tell you the truth. If I think you look shit, you look shit. I'm like an angel compared to Simon. The way Simon's brutal. If you're not ready, just tell you to get the fuck out. I remember getting ready for a show and I was panicking. I was shredded and I I thought I was okay, and then I was some days I was holding water. I felt skinny. I felt fat. I didn't know am I good, am I bad. I asked Simon once, Simon, can you just have a look at me, give your opinion? Am I ready? I went through all the compulsories. He looked at me and just looked straight at me, like he couldn't even see me, like he was looking straight through me. And what did he say? He just walked off. He didn't say one fucking word. I just thought
I'm speechless.
I've disappointed him that much that he can't even acknowledge me. He just walked off, and then my head was even more fucked. So what does that even mean?
Dean always looks good.
What does that mean?
My head was fried, so I got back on the fucking treadmill and did another hour.
No comment.
No comment. No comment.
But Kai, did you, looking back at the pictures and the videos, do you feel proud of how far you come and how you looked? Do you think, wow, that's me?
Yeah, I was very astonished. Yes, and my mom, my parents, they couldn't recognize me. Yeah, they couldn't. My parents, they couldn't recognize me. And but I think I can go better. I can go much harder. Like
I mean, like I said, it was our first time competing, and you obviously dieted a long time. So hopefully, the next time you compete, you will. The second time around, I think it's a lot easier, because your body's sort of used to getting that lean. When it's the first time, it's new territory for your body. So the second time around, I think getting the fat off is a lot easier. And obviously, you're in a better starting position to where you were originally. So I think you're at an advantage there, and we obviously got more time. So I think when you compete October, you will be, hopefully, will be better.
All the best.
Don't get so fat in the meantime.
Yeah. And Femi, was you looking back at the pictures and the videos? Do you think, wow, that was me? Do you feel proud of what you've done?
Yes, I was. As I said, Sai, you did an incredible job with the way I turned out. Even Sai as well. Sai, yes, he was confident about my physique, but I remember, Sai, you remember maybe like a week, 2 weeks out, you said the only thing you wanted to see is how I would look on stage, because obviously a lot of bodybuilders, they look good in the gym, but do they have that stage physique? That stage physique? I definitely, well, as Dean always told me, thank you once again, Dean, as Dean always told me. So after seeing the pictures, I definitely do think I have the stage physique, and I was extremely excited and impressed. Even my parents, just like Sai said, my parents who, especially my dad, as a lot of you guys know, my dad was a strong motivator for me for this competition, because when I started training, obviously from where I'm from, my dad, he doubted all of this, and he was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So sending him the videos, my dad that's not into bodybuilding, he actually responded me with analysis of the posing. He's like, wow, I think your back is the greatest. I think,
wow.
Someone that is not into bodybuilding, he was so impressed with the way I looked, to the point that it made him interested in the sport. It made him interested. What do you think?
It's really good, because I never had that encouragement. My family didn't understand it.
No, nor mine.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you want your family to be there, and no family ever came. Okay. I remember when
your brother used to come, didn't he?
My brother came a couple of times. He loved it. My young brother. None of my other family. And I remember winning the British, and I was so chuffed, the best in all of Britain, and I was excited. And I told my mum, and they invited me to the Arnold. And Simon come with me. Simon's been a godsend throughout my whole career, because I see him as family more than my family, and he was always there for me. Even when I competed in America, he babysat me. He took me there, and in Madrid at the Arnold. But we went to the Arnold, and it didn't go the best of plan. I could have looked a lot better, but I was still really happy. I came 9th in the world at the Arnold, and I come back, and I was so excited. I was like, Mum, I come 9th in the world. She went, oh, never mind, you can't win them all. And like, there's no concept of what it even means. Or I could have done Mr. Birmingham, I could have done Mr. Olympia. It's the same fucking thing to her. It's you have that. You've won. You want to feel significant. You want someone to say well done. And then when your family just don't understand it, it's hard. So I'm really pleased to hear that your dad is not into bodybuilding at all, but the way he's seen that and was so proud of you and what you've achieved.
Yes. And I think that's more time because obviously for him, being someone who is in his 60s now, he had to go to the doctors recently and they altered his diet. So he was kind of like eating similar to what Sai gave me. But being an African man, that's not how he was brought up. He didn't like eating like that. So when he heard me explaining it to my granddad, what I had been eating for the last 12 weeks, it actually shocked him that, wow, what level of discipline is that? Was great. It shocked him that, wow.
Well, Femi, the foods that you were eating, like I'm saying for Kai, was very basic, wasn't it?
It was very basic.
And people think like you have to eat some sort of fancy diet, but the basics always work. And people, I think now that they just overcomplicate things. They put in things they don't need and to make things easier, but you don't need them.
How many people do you know, Si, jumps from one prep coach to the next, to the next,
exactly,
to the next? And they think the next one's got the secret and they're going to tell them something different. It's the same fucking shit. There's one secret, and that's hard fucking work and consistency. And it doesn't matter who you are, if you don't put that in, no matter how good your genetics are, you are not going to win at a top level. It's down to hard fucking work.
And I've given that similar sort of diets to other people when they come to me and they look at that for, there's got to be more to it than that. I mean, what drugs are we taking or what?
Is that it? Is that it?
This is the diet, yeah. Do this for 12, 14 weeks and you'll be in shape. Fuck the muffins off, fuck the Cocoa Pops and all that. Just stick to the basics. They always work.
Yeah.
I have one question for Sai, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Being the coach of me and Kai, I know two questions actually. Were you impressed with how me and Kai turned out as beginners, and moving forward, what advice would you give us in terms of improvement? Well, the second question for you.
Okay, with you, Femi, I mean, we've always talked about bodybuilding. That's why I love talking to you about. Obviously, we've got a sort of similar sort of people that we admire. But I think you've always had the shape. But I've always seen like potential. It means nothing without the hard work, and you can have all the potential in the world, but if you don't pull it off, then it goes to waste. Yes. Then there were parts of me when you first prepped and thought, okay, we know he's got the muscle bellies. We know he's got, but can he endure the 12, 14 week diet? Because that's the make or break. And it's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easier to gain muscle, but to do that 12, 14 week prep. And I've seen a lot of people stop the prep because they couldn't handle it. And I was thinking, has Femi got the determination to go through that whole 14 weeks? I thought, well, we will see. Hopefully, that's why I thought, you know what, I'm going to be on your back every week, supporting you as much as I could. And obviously we pulled it off. So I was really happy the way you came out. You probably surprised me more. You and Kai surprised me more than anyone else out of the group that we trained, that you come out on top, where you came. So I was really impressed. And I obviously got good feedback from everyone, from even getting the compliments of Dean. So that must mean something. And Dean doesn't really give many compliments. So
I give him one that you know what I mean? You both, for first shows, you both looked incredible. I can't knock it. You both put the hard work in, especially you, Kai. You killed yourself to get into that condition. And
yeah, Kai had dieted twice as long as you, Femi. And for the last few weeks, he was literally on hardly any food, and he was doing twice the amount of cardio. So he had to really suffer. And obviously training legs with Chris every week. So he had to work hard.
You know how hard it is to come down that low and to hold the muscle, to hold his I mean, Femi, no disrespect to you, but you seem to have amazing genetics. And you could be on zero carbs and still hold muscle somehow, where most people like me would just wither away. But I've always competed with some kind of steroids there, which have helped hold the muscle massively. So for you, Kai, doing it all natural as well, the hardest part of getting into great condition and dieting that hard is to hold muscle. And you, between the two of you, you've got that balance just right. I mean, I think Simon was a great coach for you. You just kind of hit it off together and worked really well with each other because you.
Yeah, I knew with Kai it would take a bit longer because it's his first time on those both, but Kai was sort of, he wasn't in a great starting position, so I thought this is going to take a long time. And a lot of people, when they do start prep, they don't give themselves long enough. They think a 12-week prep is going to get them shredded, where they probably need double that, really, or at least 18 weeks. And then when they don't see the fat coming off, they start dropping the calories too soon, or they start putting too much cardio in, start rushing things. And where you just need more time, and I think that's a big mistake people make. They don't give themselves enough time. And I think with Kai, we hit it perfectly. 24 weeks was just, and that's enabled him to keep the amount of muscle he had on his frame. Where if it was a shorter prep, we put up had to pull things too soon and double the cardio, and he probably would have come in flatter and smaller. So I think they both, each protocol worked fine for both of them.
You lost quite a lot of weight, didn't you, Kai? But by the end, you look bigger. See the illusion and everything, but to me, it didn't look like you lost any muscle. It looked like you put some on.
Yeah.
So how much weight did you lose in total?
In total, it would be 24 kg in 24 weeks.
24 kg.
24 kg, yeah.
Oh.
Let's get a calculator out.
And how long was that? The total time you used?
24 weeks.
24
weeks. Yeah.
52 pounds he lost.
So how many kilo?
I was 103 kilo after New Year and before the prep, and
78 kilos on stage.
Yes.
So he lost nearly 3.5 stone.
Consistently, like a kilo a week, basically.
Yeah.
Just over. So
well, there were some weeks he didn't. There were some weeks he didn't lose any weight, and his weight would stay the same. But if you're looking over the overall picture, it was a kilo a week.
Yeah, I mean that's when I prep people. I say we lose 1 to 3 pounds a week maximum. If you're losing more than 3 pounds, you're losing water, glycogen, or worst case, you're losing muscle. You know what I mean? And when you first start dieting, you probably get a big drop because of how different the diet is. A lot of water comes out. But when you're hitting a kilo a week, it's 2.2 pounds. You're perfect. You're in the perfect zone where you're holding the muscle and you're only losing fat. So he's obviously got it bang on just right for you. And to consistently do that for so long is incredible.
Exactly, yeah. Femi, how much did you lose? You lost about, you weighed 94 kilo show day, didn't you?
Yeah, we started the prep from...
you grew into the show, I remember. You grew into the show.
I grew into the show myself. Well, in terms of the weight, I started...
You did the Kevin Lerone, didn't you?
Well, as Dean said, I was just lucky genetically in that department.
So you lost 2 stone of fat and put a stone of muscle on.
But you were probably eating more consistently, more regularly than before. You were probably eating bigger meals, but you were eating... Obviously, when you're on prep, you don't miss meals. You make sure you don't miss meals, so you probably everything was more efficient.
Yes,
that's why your body grew.
I stayed on track. That's why when if you ask Sai when he permitted my cheat meal some days before the show, I was really emotional. I almost cried.
You almost cried, yeah.
I almost cried.
Yeah, same. Like the morphine on the morphine you gave to me, I almost cried. I was almost cried. I'm like,
if you don't cry, you're not dieting hard enough.
Ask him. I almost cried. I celebrated in the shower. Sai, can you remember you told me in the men's room?
Yeah.
I almost cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about, Randeep Lote.
Yeah.
Incredible bodybuilder. I used to train with him for many years. Simon was prepping him, and you killed him, didn't you, Simon? He's like a machine. Whatever you say, he would do that and more. He was coming to the gym. He just killed his body. Like he'd get to the red lights or the traffic lights in his car, and if it stopped, boom, he's asleep. People are bibbing him because his body's that shattered. Wow. But he wouldn't stop. He'd keep going and going. Anyway, he comes into the gym one day and he's like, "Dean, I got something to tell you. Like, I'm really embarrassed." It's like, "What have you done?" He's like, "Oh, I was in my kitchen at home." I was like, "Oh, fuck, here we go. You flipped out or something? Somebody's ate your food? Have you smashed the kitchen up?" And he was like, No. He said, I couldn't He said, don't tell anyone, but I just couldn't take anymore. I just sat on the floor and started crying. And I went, I do that every fucking day. If you're not crying, you're not dieting hard enough. I said I watch a Disney cartoon and I'll start crying my eyes out. That's how emotionally you get because your body's shut down and drained. He didn't see the funny side, but I thought it was hilarious.
I almost cried. Sai witnessed it. I almost
I've
cried.
witnessed it all of you, to be honest. I mean, even Harps, he's still continuing his diet, and Harps obviously competed last week with you guys, and I said to him, "So you all right?" He goes, "Oh, I'll quit my job." I goes, I've been how long you been there for? I think 8 years. I thought, why have you quit your job? Oh, just pissed off, and they told me I was miserable down there. I thought, fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Oh, fuck it, there's loads of other jobs out there." So I thought,
oh dear.
Oh dear.
You know what? I worked as security. You couldn't get sacked on security. You'd get moved from place to place. When I started my prep, I'd probably get moved about 10, 15 times because of horrible incidents where you just get so angry you can't deal with people. It's not good if it's very hard to be dieting to that extreme and actually cope with real life jobs, relationships, just normal stresses of life. It's extremely hard. That's why most bodybuilders they get a gym or they do PT work. They just bum around in the gym and find ways to get money, sell some drugs, whatever. I mean,
all the above.
All the above, yeah.
Okay, so last question before we wrap it up. So if you could change something about going forward about your prep, what would you do differently? Kai, ask you first. So if in the next prep, what would you do differently? Get a new coach?
No. I think that Sai, you're a great coach for me and perfect. And just also my genetic and because we're both Asian and I think the next show I would not struggling about the potassium and the sodium kind of things. Because I was asking you a lot of these questions. Should I cut the sodium? Should I cut the potassium? Kind of.
Yeah, you try to overcomplicate things, Kai. You've probably been reading too many articles and trying to ask him to cut water out a week out. And these are things you don't need to think about. All you need to think about is getting shredded as possible, and everything will fall into play. Don't think about that's a lot of mistake. A lot of people maybe think about cutting water, things like that. Don't worry about. And the more you worry about it, the more you're going to start stressing and holding water over. And I know you want things to be perfect and shredded, but as long as you get shredded, that's all that matters. So how would you approach the next prep? Would will you have more confidence knowing you've won 3 competitions now?
Yes, I will be more confident, and I stopped after the show. I stopped doubting myself, my capability, kind of things, and my parents now support me, which give me more confidence on my next show. Also, people, and also, I think I start finding the purpose why I'm training hard is
you got a
not
goal
for myself. Yeah, I got a goal. I got not for myself, and also I don't want other people's down. And also because bodybuilding in China now is still quite new to them, to the community, to the society. So I wish to bring kind of sort of the idea to motivate people to being fitted and love fitness.
Like a role model for
now, now
like
more and more people like ambassador, hopefully.
And you, Femi?
For me, I wouldn't. Okay, with regards to this prep, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything at all. I think the basics work really well on me. Although Dean says with 0 carbs, I can still hold muscle like that. But I think
you wouldn't need to go 0 carbs.
I think they really work well on me. The only thing that I'll say is the last week, the next time I'm competing again, the last week of show day, I would really take it more serious because I felt maybe
a bit too relaxed.
Yeah, I was a little bit too relaxed and that's probably what led to me holding maybe a little bit of water on my legs on show day. So I think,
But sometimes, I mean, the seminar we had the weekend with Chris Geffen, he says a lot of the best bodybuilders, they're the most laid back, like Ronnie, like Dorian, like Dexter. They were just like, if they missed a meal, they wouldn't stress about it.
yeah,
So you're not sort of releasing that cortisol. So you can be relaxed about a few things, and
I
when you
was.
stress about things, you start panicking.
Yes, I was actually. And with regards to confidence, I think now that I've competed, because my only fear was a lot of people were telling me that I had what it took or I had what it takes. But I really wanted to see it for myself. I wanted to be sure. And after what I saw on show day, that has lit a new fire in me. And as Dean always said, I have everything. The only thing remaining is for me to put in the actual work. So if that's all I have to do, then I'm ready to do that moving forward in the future. So,
What about them pictures I took of you? How do you?
Dean, I'm waiting for the rest. The pictures. You know how many comments I got on the one that I posted on my story? The pictures were amazing. They were amazing. Like so.
Because I've edited those, the ones I sent to you, but there's not much edit going on to change from the original. And when you look at you with your eyes and then through the camera lens, you always lose a bit of the detail through the camera. So the edit's more like kind of to bring that back, but they're not over edited. So that's a pretty true likeness to how you looked. I think the condition in your legs, especially your quads, was even better now.
Yeah, because when I seen him yesterday when you were posing and I caught your grips, I thought, is he still dieted? It looks like he's still on prep.
Everyone was asking me, am I doing another show? I said, no, please.
You may have lost a little, like
little bit hardness,
detail in your hamstring or through your back, but your quads looked harder.
Your front looked just as hard, yeah. Your stomach, yeah.
A week
okay.
out. Amazing.
Well, I'm gonna round this up. I know it's getting late now, and just want to thank everyone for coming on. Kai, where can people get in touch with you if they want to sort of book you in for any guest spots or anything like that? How can people? What's your Instagram or your WeChat?
Follow my Instagram on the ym.kai. Yeah.
So can I reach you there for muscle worship?
Muscle worship. I more want to train with people, with good people. I like to train with good people, and
we can expect to see Kai at Ultimate Fitness Leg Room every Saturday, getting under the hack squat. Femi, how can people get in touch with you if they want to sort of reach out to you?
Well, guys, my Instagram is Femi as FEMI _ Swole SWOL _E. So you guys reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll be ready to help you.
And also, Dean, how can people reach out to you?
Well, I'd rather they don't, to be honest.
Just asking a question on Instagram.
Dean Protein on
pass the
Instagram.
knowledge to us, please. Pass the knowledge.
Ask him any steroid-related question. He'd be happy to answer it.
I do a lot of questions and answers to try and help as many people as I can. So if you do want any questions answered, you can jump on my Instagram anytime, Dean the Protein, and just fire your questions away when I put them up. Don't bombard my inbox, because many people do. When you ask me a question in my inbox, I'm only answering to you, which I'm not going to waste that time, because I spend so much time trying to help as many people as I can. So when I chuck the questions out, everybody can see the answer. And if you want more information than that, then www.joinourlegion.com. That's a website I run, and I only charge £10 a month, and you get all of the content, access to all content. And on there we have doctors, we have some of the best athletes in the world, we have Mr. Olympias on there, there's Jay Cutler, there's Phil Heath, there's Sean Roden. We've got some amazing people on there. And I also offer basically me as a prep coach, as much help as you need in with that £10 package a month. So and I do this just because I like to try and help people, and I'm sick of the fitness industry, how many people rip you off, and not only do they still hundreds of pounds out of your pocket just to give you a shitty piece of paper, a diet program, which they give to everybody. But some of them have no clue what they're doing and are giving you drug stacks and giving you this shit, and they really mess up your health and don't give a fuck because they're taking your money. So people like Simon are here to help you and give you the right advice. I've been there and done that so many times, and Simon's been there and done that like double the amount of times me, because he's like nearly 100 years old now and he's been doing it since he was a kid. So if he's the best man
don't forget when me and Dean competed, we never used a prep coach, did we? You didn't use one and I didn't use one. So everything we learned was from ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, you've trained with just about every top pro in the world, and I've met so many of them. We pick their brains when we're with them, and just over years and years of experience in doing it, you get wisdom and experience from when you make mistakes. And between the two of us, I don't think there's any mistake in the whole of life that we haven't made, especially in relationships.
Yeah, but that's for another podcast. Right then, so let's wrap this up. Thank you all for coming on and being on my second episode.
Thank
for
you.
all viewers, hope you like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, if you want to come on, we'll do another one in a few weeks' time. We'll talk about something else. But yeah, did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Podcast.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.